For today's meal, we are going to be making vegetarian lasagna.
Yay, that!
To make our vegetarian lasagna, you're gonna need 500 grams of cottage cheese.
Low in fat, thick and zesty garlic and herb, and this is 680 millimeters.
We're gonna also be needing 2 packages of ground round, which is vegetarian hamburger.
And
Lasagna noodles.
we're using Catelli. There's 375 grams, and this is lasagna noodles. What she said.
And then we're also gonna be using a big mixing bowl, a spatula, and a ladle.
And this lasagna pan thing.
Would you know what the dimensions? No.
Just a large, round, thick pan. That will do the trick.
That's all. For this recipe, we will also be needing shredded cheese.
The first step to making our lasagna is grabbing the large bowl and putting in your cottage cheese,
All of it?
all of it,
The whole
Gotcha.
thing.
which is 500
That looks
grams.
really
Doesn't this look
And then we're gonna put a whole
appetizing?
can of thick and zesty tomato sauce.
Okay, so you want to get it all in there so you use up all of it and we're not wasting.
And you're gonna need a can opener to open your can of tomato sauce.
Or
But
use
don't
a
cut
spatula.
yourself.
Be very careful, children. Ooh, that looks good.
Yum.
Yummy, yummy. This is what it looks like in the bowl. So you just make sure it's all in there.
And we're gonna pour in
This goes
all of the tomato sauce.
all of it.
All of it.
All of it.
We're going for it, ladies.
Actually, I probably should use yogurt.
I'm sorry.
There we go. Could you
Sorry.
scoop the rest of that out to make sure we got it all?
Here, I'll mix.
No, you can. I'll scoop.
This is what it looks like so far. I can't show you now because she's scooping stuff. Girl, I don't.
And then we're gonna open all of both packages of our ground round and mix it in.
Yes. Okay, so now we've added our vegetarian ground round in here into the thing, and we're just mixing that up, Jessica and Paige.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And we're gonna need to add one more package of our ground round.
Just
So you
gotta,
want to add 2.
gotta crunch it up.
Mix it all in there.
Just gonna put that in there. Did not open that properly. That's okay.
Also, we forgot to add, you're supposed to wash your hands and tie your hair back.
This is what mixing your lasagna looks like.
We want to cut into the vegetarian meat.
And then mix it in with the rest of the sauce and cheese.
Yeah, we added 2 packs, like we said before. Oh, wait, we already said that. Okay,
Yeah.
this is us mixing it.
So before we start cooking, make sure you preheat the oven to 350.
Fahrenheit. Duh.
So now we're going to start assembling our pasta. Wrong word. We're gonna restart that.
Assembling's a good word. We're going with it.
No, the pasta. This is lasagna.
Okay.
Now we're gonna start assembling our lasagna. So to start with, we're gonna scoop one portion of
ladle's
our
worth.
lasagna into our lasagna pan, and we're gonna
Yes.
just spread that all about there, or a
Do as
couple,
much as you need.
so it fits one
Cover
layer.
the bottom of the pan.
Whoa. Are these
And if you want, put a spatula so you can layer it out
layer?
or mix it about. Okay,
Pan it
we're
out.
gonna edit some of this out because this is just kind of me struggling to spread out lasagna.
Ready.
Oh, I like that. Let's go. Oh, we're videotaping.
That's okay.
ASMR. Ready.
Cooking is fun, folks. So now that we've spread it all across the bottom of the
I
pan.
gotta restart that because Paige is
No, we're keeping this.
So now that we have spread it all across our pan, very nice, we are gonna place.
the lasagna noodles across the pan.
We're gonna be placing the lasagna noodles across the pan.
And you want them to be horizontal depending on how the weight your pan is.
And if you need to, break the ends of your pasta off so it fits long ways.
Yeah, so it fits your pan size.
It could take a while because you might need to chop a lot off and then but make sure you put enough pasta so it covers all of it, and then you have a nice bite.
Will I die if I eat this? Jessica,
Put that there.
will I die if I eat this?
No, it's okay.
It's lasagna.
We're gonna. We love that. This is kind of silent. So now that we've layered our pasta noodles over top of our actual lasagna, we're going to sprinkle our shredded cheese on top so you get that nice melted cheese taste.
Yeah, we're just gonna sprinkle it all on top.
And I cannot stress how important it is to make sure that you have washed your hands before making anything.
And do not touch any pets.
Because otherwise that would be disgusting.
It is hard to do at this house.
Yeah, because there's
But
like a little
try your
kitten
hardest.
staring at me. I really want to pet her. But we're not going to because we are clean people and we want to be hygienic while
Okay,
we're
ready?
cooking in the kitchen.
And now we are going to take another scoop of our meatless portion.
Yes.
And we're going to scoop it on here. And then we're going to take the spatula and spread it out over top of the cheese.
Essentially similar to what we were doing on the bottom,
Yeah,
but
you're
now
just
we're
gonna
doing it over
keep
cheese.
repeating until
You have used up all your lasagna.
or you've come to the top of your pan.
Exactly. So as you can see, Paige is spreading it all about.
Now we're going to put another layer of our pasta noodles over top of our lasagna.
Yeah, so we're repeating all the same steps that we did before, just with the cheese. How much do we have to break off?
As much as it takes to fill it up.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh my.
It's okay. Don't stress when he eats anything.
that's okay.
You
Make sure to have a clean working space going on, because you don't want mess.
Yeah, make sure you wipe down your counters before you start cooking, okay?
We need another one.
Because sanitation is really important, so you maybe don't get bacteria, and then you don't get sick.
And die.
I know I was gonna say that. Okay, that one
The
is
Salmonella sisters have returned. Sisters.
over there. Then put another layer of your shredded cheese over top of your pasta noodles.
Just like before, but we're repeating it again. Getting closer to the top each time.
And this way, with the shredded cheese, you can have nice melted cheese when you bite. And over top of our last layer of shredded cheese, we're gonna put one more layer of our lasagna.
Mush meat, but vegetarian combination.
We're gonna cut that out.
No, we're okay. So if you want to spread this out, Jessica, that'd be wonderful. I'll add a little plop there for you. Plop.
Making lasagna is a really fun activity that you can do with your friends or your family.
Yes, because bonding in the kitchen is so fun.
We're gonna hurry up. We're going to put our last layer of pasta noodles on our lasagna, which is getting pretty heavy since we filled it up.
We're just gonna break apart some more lasagna noodles. That was clean. Yeah, okay.
Why just put this in front of us?
Sorry. Sorry, dog.
Did you say sorry, dog?
Sorry.
And we're gonna top our final layer of lasagna off with our cheese so it looks really nice and melty on the top.
Yes. And gooey and ooey and luscious cheese mix.
And again, make sure you have washed hands.
Paige, did you wash your hands?
Yes, I did. I extra did.
Yes. After attending the bathroom, make sure to extra wash your hands.
And after petting your animals.
Which you're not supposed to do, but it's also very hard in this house.
I know. There's a little kid sleeping over there, and it's adorable. Okay, this is the final product. We've added
This
our
is actually so good.
cheese.
This is what your lasagna should look like.
Yes, and our oven is preheated, so I think we're ready to put it in the oven, y'all. Yeah.
So bake your lasagna for around 50 minutes.
50 or 15?
50.
Make sure your oven is all the way open when you're putting your lasagna in the
And that
oven.
you have your oven mitts on so you don't burn your hands.
Smart thinking here, people.
It didn't take us 3 tries to do this. Close the door and set the timer for 50 minutes.
Yes.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,
35, 40, 45,
50.
Yay!
And now we're gonna wait for 50
Now
minutes.
that our lasagna's all done, we're gonna take a fork and test to see if it's fully cooked. That's what Jessica's doing now.
It seems maybe not as tender as we would like it, so I think we're gonna put it back in for a couple more minutes.
Yes.
Maybe 7.
We want a clean fork.
7's a good number.
Yeah. It's looking pretty good.
So we're just gonna poke it again. Oh, that's actually really good. So it's nice and tender. So we're gonna take that out and let it cool for a while, and then we're gonna serve it. for a side for our lasagna, we are going to be making some garlic bread. So to start with, we're just buy a normal loaf of French bread and then slice it in half. So for our garlic bread, we've mixed together some butter and some fresh garlic. And we just mix that all up in a little bowl, and now we're going to spread it on our bread.
You're going to take your 2 bread halves and stick them together, and we are going to put it back in the foil packaging that the bread loaf came in, and we're going to put it in the oven for about 10 minutes just to get like nice and warm and crisp.
Putting it in the oven with her mitts on.
And the oven is preheated to 325.
And we're going to set our timer for 10 minutes. I'm super bad with ovens.
There we go.
While the bread is cooking, we are going to cover the lasagna with a piece of tin foil so it stays nice and warm and delicious.
Flavorful.
Not good. Be also very careful because the dish might still be hot.
And you don't want to burn yourself.
And now, once you're done your lasagna, just cut into it, and you can enjoy a nice dinner with friends and family.
Yay.
Yummy!
After we've eaten our yummy lasagna, we need dessert. So what are we making today, Jessica?
Woohoo! So for our recipe, we are going to be needing a large bowl to put all our ingredients in. We're going to need an electric mixer, granulated sugar, powdered sugar, and almond flour.
You're also going to want 4 eggs. You can have any icing color you want. We chose pink for today. A little sifter to sift the ingredients, a whisk, and a spatula.
So we are going to start our recipe by sifting our almond flour, which is 1 1/3 cups of almond flour.
Okay, so we're going to put our cup in. And then we're going to put our 3rd cup in. And we're going to sift it into this bowl.
This could take a while, so be patient when you're making this recipe. Still sifting. Still sifting.
Still sifting.
So now we're going to be putting in 2 cups of powdered sugar into our sifter.
And sift it all out with our
And make sure
almond
you're
flour.
using the back of a knife to level all the powdered sugar out of your cup.
Like so. If you get overflow, that would be good.
Here, we're
And
gonna.
then we're going to sift around.
And here is the 2nd cup of powdered sugar. And we're gonna sift that until it's all nice and smooth.
Now that we have sifted our powdered sugar, we're going to whisk it all up with our almond flour.
After you're finished whisking your almond flour and powdered sugar together, grab a separate bowl and 2 separate bowls, and we're going to separate our yolks from our egg whites, and then we're going to beat them in this separate bowl.
With our electric mixer, correct?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So
Ready?
this is how you separate egg whites. So first, you crack the shell into 2, and then you just try to
Jiggle them.
Toss back the yolk into the other ones, and then the whites will eventually come running out.
And we're done.
For the most part,
We're done 1 egg.
yes. 3 more to go, folks.
So now we're going to whip our egg whites for about 2 minutes on medium speed. So when you mixed it for about 2 minutes and the eggs are frothy, as you can see here, add 1 cup of granulated sugar.
And then you're going to want to mix on high for roughly 2 minutes, just until it's nice and thick.
And then you can mix and add it at the same time. So after mixing for about 2 minutes, you can check to see if your egg whites and sugar are stiff. So one way to check it is that if you put your mixer in and you pull it out, the peaks should stand up. And as you can see here, they just kind of fall flat. So you know they're not stiff yet, so you have to keep mixing on high.
Once egg whites have reached stiff peaks, if you choose to, you can add food coloring. We are choosing to add pink food coloring today, so just take it on a little small spoon. You can
add a dash. Not that. I don't think.
You can put it in.
And then mix it up. And if you need to add more, if you want a darker color,
Because-
because it'll bake lighter.
Yeah.
Yee.
Okay, now that we've done mixing up our icing / filling middle, we're gonna add it in with our almond flour. So taking our spatula, we're gonna. Can you hold the bowl I poured in?
I got it. Teamwork.
Okay.
So now we're just gonna scoop it into our almond mixture, and then we are going to fold it in from the bottom. And then we're supposed to fold it in about 50 times or until the batter flows like lava off your spatula. So now we're going to fold the almond flour into our liquid mixture. So we're just
Right.
gonna wanna fold it in from the bottom up and do this about 50 times.
Once Jessica finishes our batter, we're gonna have to put it in a piping bag. So I'm gonna show you guys how to get a piping bag ready. So I have these tips here, and I have the piping tip. I'm gonna cut a little piece of the tip off, and we can test it just to make sure that it comes in. But what you do is you take this tip and you put the one that you want on, and then you put it in your bag, like so. As you can see, I did not cut enough off, so I'm gonna cut some more off. There we go. And that's just about there. You can always cut more off. Just cut a little less than you think, so that, because you can never put more back on. So we have it all cut here. Edit this out.
We're not editing this out.
And then you take this little tip and you screw it on so that the tip stays in place. And then boom, you have your piping bag and you're ready to put it on. And a tip that I have is to take a tall glass and put it in the glass and go like this so that it stays open like this without the need of hands, so you can scoop your batter in.
Alright. So this mixture looks just about right. It's fully incorporated, and a way to test it is to see if the mixture kind of flows off your spatula like lava. So that's not bad. We could mix it a little bit more,
So we're gonna do that.
and then we're gonna put it in our piping bag just like Paige showed us.
Yay.
So we're gonna line our baking tray with this sheet. This sheet is actually made for macaroons. It has little indents that's the perfect size that you want for a macaroon. So we're gonna lay this on our baking tray, set it aside, and we have this glass here with our piping bag. And Maya is gonna scoop our dough into the piping bag.
Filling kind of.
Not filling.
Dough. I mean, batter.
And
Batter.
this sheet makes it very easy because they're the perfect size. And you can push it down, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. There. Okay. Keep going. Just bring it really down. Just big.
And if you need to, you can always use a spoon to push all the batter down.
Yeah, so that's what Jessica's gonna do with this spatula.
It's kind of big.
Yeah.
There, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Oh, that's
Perfecto.
okay.
Peak dough.
Oh, and now he wants to come in.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Keep going.
And you want to fill up your piping bag.
Fill up your piping bag. On this piping bag, it has hearts on it, and that's where you're supposed to stop. So this will be the last scoop that we're gonna do.
We want to do one more? Can we fit one
Yeah,
more?
we could do
Yeah,
one
we
more.
can do one more. One more.
Ooh, I just touched the icing now.
So this batter should make approximately 14 macaroons.
Okay, so we are done. We are gonna fold up the sides. And what I did is so that it wouldn't spill at the end, is I put another piping bag over top. So I'm just gonna take that out. There. And see, as you see, once you push, it's coming out. So
So you want to hold your piping bag straight up and down so the batter easily comes out, and then make sure you twist it at the top so you won't have any like back flow.
Yeah, you
So
don't want it
just
coming up the top.
squeeze and straight up.
Kind of like meringues.
you can twist at the top if you want, and don't push down on it because then it'll have an indent.
Yeah, and you don't want that.
And then do this to all your cookies. If your macaroons have a little like lip at the top, what you can do is dip your finger in a little bit of water and just pat the top down, and it will push the top down so they cook all evenly, but it won't stick to your finger, which is really good.
Guys,
Once you're done with all your macaroons, what you want to do is you're going to take your sheet pan, hold it up, and just lightly tap the table to get all the air bubbles out.
there we go.
So once you're done that, these have to sit out for an hour, and they will form a little hard shell over top, and then we will put them in the oven.
Great.
Once your macaroons have a nice, good shell over top, open your oven all the way, and we have set it to 350, and put your macaroons in. And we're gonna bake these for 13 minutes.
Keep going.
And we're gonna start.
So as you can see, these ones are kind of tacky. They're a little bit wet, and if you can press down and break them right through and they're a little bit sticky, then you want to let them sit for longer until they have a nice shell over top of them, so they're kind of like styrofoamish. Okay, for the buttercream filling, you're gonna want powdered sugar, 1 cup of butter, table salt, and vanilla extract.
And for every 2 cups of powdered sugar you do, we're gonna need 1 cup of butter. We are gonna be using a recipe of 2 cups of powdered sugar, a cup of butter.
And 2 teaspoons of vanilla and a pinch of salt.
Melt our butter quickly. So
For about 15 seconds.
yeah, depends on your microwave. There's a
This
cat. And a puppy.
This is what you don't do. You don't touch a cat when you're baking.
Yeah,
that's
see
why I'm
how
not doing
Paige isn't touching the cat?
I'm just saying,
And then you're gonna just wanna eyeball your butter to see. You don't really wanna melt it, you just wanna soften it. so
I'd say maybe soften it a little bit more so it's easier to mix in.
so 15 more seconds.
try to do it in 15-second intervals.
Our butter looks pretty good. It's a little bit melted on the bottom. This is perfect. So we're just gonna go ahead and put that right
In
in our little mixing bowl.
mixing bowl, yeah. Leveling out her powdered sugar.
We are going to use 2 half cups because we already used our full cup and it has not been washed yet.
So we're just using our half cup.
So I'm going to put it into the bowl and I'm going to do 1 more scoop because this is only a half cup. We need
2
2
cups.
cups, so we're going to need to do 4.
2 cups.
And leveling it off with the knife, not with our fingers, so I don't contaminate the rest.
And when you start to mix your frosting, you're going to need to start on a slow speed or else the powdered sugar is going to fly everywhere.
Yeah, and you don't want a messy kitchen.
Yeah, because then that's more to clean up, and cleaning up isn't very fun.
No.
Boom, 4.
2 teaspoons of vanilla. So we can just put that in with the rest of this.
Yep.
What was that?
2 teaspoons?
2 teaspoons.
Okay.
And then if your mixture is very thick, you can always add a little bit of milk to water it down. Or if it's too thin, you can add more baking
powdered sugar.
powdered sugar.
So we have it on low speed right now, as Paige said, because otherwise it'll fly out. Turn it up a little bit if nothing's going on. And there we go. If you want to color it, then we're just going to make ours teal. So you can take food coloring or icing coloring.
So it'll be 1 drop of green for every 2 drops of blue.
Okay, so we're just going to go 1 out there. Come on, let's work.
Come on, just go.
Here we go, and then 2 drops of blue. 1.
Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more blue.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of blue. We'll do 2. There we
There.
go.
And now we're gonna mix.
And it'll
Oh, that looks good.
And we'll see our beautiful colors swirl together.
Creamy.
Just like before, Paige has created her little piping bag with her tip.
This is a number 32 tip.
It's kind of like a star. It's
like
like
a
shade
star.
yellow.
Shady yellow. And so what I just did the exact same thing, and we will do the same thing with the cup to get the frosting in, and then we will pipe it in a little circle around, leaving a little bit of space, put the top on top, and it will be all ready to eat.
Yay that.
And let's look at our cookies and how they're doing. As you can see, you probably can't really see, but they're forming little feet at the end. If we open this, you might be able to see it. They're forming little feet at the end, which is what you want with macaroons. In 2 minutes, they will be ready, and we can look at them. So as you can see, I have my piping bag all folded, and
And
we
the
have it back in
icing's
the
all
glass.
ready.
The icing's all ready. We put some sprinkles in it just to add a little fun. So Jessica's gonna scoop it in.
Just like before.
And like we said last time, you can grab a fork or a spoon. Probably spoon would be a
just
better
pat
choice.
it down and bring it down to
And we
the
can
bottom.
pat it down, bring it down to the bottom so it doesn't all spread up here.
And you don't want to put too much so it overflows. So just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
And that would be our macarons ready.
So maybe one more. Yeah, that's a good scoop for now. Maybe a small one.
And we can always add more later, so you don't want to overfill.
Okay, that's good.
Perfect.
Okay, so now that we're done with that, I'm gonna put the spoon in here. I'm gonna fold these up, and we're gonna take our macaroons out.
Okay, now that our macaroons are ready, we're gonna take them out, and are we gonna do the test again, or are they good?
We're going to do a test to see if they are ready. So you grab a macaron and then you try to peel it off, and if it comes off really nicely, then you know it's ready. So we're going to test this one. Oh, see, that came off really nice. It has a really good bottom. So I think these are ready to be taken out.
Yeah.
The last step to enjoying our beautiful macarons is picking 2 up, put an icing on the bottom,
The flat side, not the rounded side.
and you can put as much or as little icing as you want, depending on what kind of sweet tooth you have.
Paige is going in a circular motion and winding it to the middle like a swirl.
And we're just gonna put them
Sandwich them
together.
And there's our macaroons.
Look like that.